This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show at Too Familiar Restaurant in Lawton, Oklahoma. I'm Steve Adams, and joining with me is Jeff Mahoney to start, but we'll have Kevin O'Connor here, the men's basketball coach, in just a minute. We're going to visit with some players and have a lot going on tonight, as always, on the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show. And we'll start with Jeff Mahoney, the head basketball coach for the women at Cameron University. I guess before we do that, I'm supposed to mention the sponsors. So our sponsors are Juice Land, Pam and Barry's Remax, Gomez Electrical, and Scott's House of Flowers. I want to thank them for being our sponsors all season long here on the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show. Also want to thank Eric Sherm, our producer and director, the chief cook and bottle washer of the Oklahoma Sports Network, for making all this possible. So, Coach Mahoney, it's been a long season, hasn't it?
Yeah, you know, it's actually went pretty quick. But we've been right there in so many ball games, and just, you know, one thing here, one thing there has kept us from being able to notch some wins. You know, kind of funny, Northwestern went and beat Harding this week, and that's one of our wins early in the year. So we've beaten two good teams, East Central and Northwestern, and we've had 10 single-digit losses this year, and just kind of been snake bit late, you know, or maybe have a stretch where, you know, we didn't guard as well as we should, or maybe struggle putting the ball in the hole. But kids have played hard, and we've been right there and had our chances. And we've got 7 games left that we feel like we're going to be prepared to go out and get after people. Several of those are in that little single-digit loss column, so we're hoping to make amends for that.
Well, I was going to say, we had a run there. You know, we lost by 2, we lost by 2 again, we lost by 9, we lost by 5, you know, we lost by 7, and, you know, in every one of them.
Yeah, and, you know, when you mentioned the 5 and 7, the 5 was a 3 at the buzzer, you know, that if they don't make that, we still have possession to go win. So even the 5s and the 9, you know, with International down there, I mean, we're up 10 in the fourth quarter, and just they bank in a 3 and get an and 1, and before you know it, you're on the road, and the momentum gets to going, and, you know, end up losing by 9. So that game was a possession game. So we're looking forward to getting back home. We had our last 4 games were all on the road, and nonetheless, when you play number 2 in the country, 6 in the country, and 12 in the country on the road, back to back to back, and then we had our rival Midwestern as well on that one. So that's been a pretty tough 4-game road stretch for us. Yeah,
and again, as you mentioned, some of the best teams, not in the conference, but in the country. And you know, when you get into a situation like that, still looking for that first conference win, you go on the road against a really good team, you know, is it hard when you get down early for the team to, you know, feel like, hey, we still got a chance to come back and win this, or you think they get down sometimes?
I don't think this bunch. I mean, we've kind of had those situations, and I think we've competed all the way to the end, just about every ball game. So, you know, you would rather not get down early, but most of those games that we got behind early, we've made a run at them and had our chances, and so I think every team's different, and so we play hard. This group's really went out and competed every night, and I've told them that, you know, and everybody you talk to, other coaches, is just, you know, hey, we just can't believe how hard your kids play, and they don't ever give up, and they're right there all the way to the end, and, you know, I hope tonight's not the night that you throw one in at the buzzer to win, you know. So, but really, it's been one of those years where you could just write a book on things that have happened, whether they be injuries or, you know, whatever they may be, that has prevented us from being able to get those conference wins like we wanted. But like I said, we got 7 left, and we're planning to go get 7 wins.
So what's practice like these days? You know, they all showing up and still getting after it. You keeping it simple at this point? Are you still putting new things into the playbook?
Yeah, a little bit of both. You know, we're still running some things that we've ran all year and tweaking things depending on the opponent you play and whatnot. But I mean, that's the thing is our kids, and they'll tell you this. I mean, we've had good upbeat practices. This time of year you don't go as long generally, so we've cut that part back. But you know, when you got 8 or 9 healthy bodies out there, you try to isolate on the things you need to work on individually, and we've done a lot of that and shot the ball a lot. And so I practice-wise, I can't complain at all with this group. They show up and we get after it.
You know, during the games, you know, this team kind of all season they shoot a lot of threes. You know, is that a philosophy? I think with Emma, it seemed like her philosophy was if you're open, shoot the three. You know, what is your philosophy about that? You want them shooting the three? You want to work the ball inside, or you know, take what's there, or how do you look at that?
I think they'll all tell you this. You know, we like the ball to go in and come back out as much as it can. I think when you're, you know, whether that be throwing it to a post kid or dribbling into the paint, you know, I think if you get the ball inside, people have to defend you. And then that opens up some rhythm shots on the perimeter and things of that nature. So we make a conscious effort, and we talk about it all the time. You know, get that thing downhill, get to the paint. You know, sometimes the ball you shoot a lot of threes, but let's be honest, everybody in the conference shoots a lot of threes.
Yeah.
You know, and when you get it down in there and you get double teamed, that means it's probably coming back out. You know, but we don't go out there just saying, you know, let's shoot nothing but threes. I know sometimes people think that's what we're looking for, but, you know, I learned a long time ago you shoot the best available shot when you get it, and whether that be a three in transition or, you know, a kick-out three or whatever it is, we're going to take the first good shot.
Well, so Thursday we have A&M International, and then we have Kingsville. Again, you know, we went on the road and played those two teams very tough, lost to International by 9, lost to Kingsville by 2. So what are your feelings about those games coming up, you know?
Well, I'll talk about International first because that's Thursday.
Yeah.
Like I said, we went down there playing on a Saturday afternoon, and like I said, it was cold down there that weekend in South Texas, and we got up early, then kind of settled in, and then They got ahead, then we got up about 9 or 10, and then they had a couple things happen, you know, that got them back ahead of us, and then ended up beating us 9. And, you know, so we're really looking forward to getting back and maybe doing a little bit better, guarding them at times and things of that nature. And then Kingsville, that was a tie ball game with a minute to go down the stretch, less than a minute. And they ended up, we ended up having a foul. They missed a free throw, got a rebound. We fouled again. They made a shot. We were down 2, had a possession, called timeout, and just didn't. We turned it over off that. But we had a possession to win that ball game. And so both of those teams are good, you know. But we like our chances coming back home if we can get out and shoot the ball in the hole.
You know, we've had 2 or 3 of those games, so it kind of comes down to that last possession. Do you have a feel for that to say, I want a certain player to have the ball in their hands? You just say, no, we're going to run this play, and whatever happens, you know, whoever pops open, that they
a little
get the
of both.
shot?
Usually you have option 1, 2, and 3, you know, because the other coaches, you know, this time of year, if you've had something that you've run, they've watched it. And, you know, so you have option 1, 2, and 3, and you know, it's kind of one of those deals where a lot of times in the game situations, you know, from a coaching standpoint, it's a lot of times it's where the ball ends up and who makes a play with the ball in their hands. It's, you know, it's usually a lot of times it's a rebound putback that wins the game. Well, that's not anything drawn up. That's just a kid going and making a play. So,
Okay.
you know, we've got a couple things that we've been waiting for another opportunity to run, and so I carry it in my pocket every game. I told the girls I've got it right here ready next time we need it. But
So like the football coach who has a half dozen 2-point plays to rely on, huh?
Yeah, you know, but it again, it's a matter. You got to get the ball in bounds, and you got to go make a play, make a basketball play, and make the other team make a defensive stop. You know, so.
Well, those 7 games you got left, 5 of them are at home. That's kind of a good feeling to know you got some of those games at home where you got the home crowd with you. You know the floor. You just feel better, don't you?
Yeah, our schedule's been really, and you never know at the first of the year how it's going to be, but our schedule's been really difficult as far as our home games, the way they've been, and we caught some people hot early that hasn't. Maybe they've got some injuries now or sickness, I don't know, but they were playing a whole lot better early than they are now, and so it happens.
Yeah.
But I just think, the schedule hasn't been real friendly to us as far as our road games and the people that we've had to play, but again, we're really looking forward to getting back home and playing these last 7 games. And like you said, 5 of them are at home. We've got senior night coming up. We've got the Hall of Fame banquet coming in, and got some things going on. So we'd love to have a lot of people out and rocking the house.
Well, okay, so this season's kind of winding down. It's you don't want to start thinking about next year, but I know you've signed some players already for next year. Let's talk a little bit about the recruiting process.
Yeah, we signed 3 high school kids in the fall, early period. Chanel Davis is a 6-foot kid out of LD Bell in Fort Worth. Her coach, Andy Bloodworth, and I are really good friends, and Andy called me about her early. And, they've got a great program down there. Andy does a great job. So we signed her early. And then we got Bentley Cook from Ripley, and they're having a really, really good year. Bentley's a 5'8", 2-3 guard. And again, her coach, Talby Justice, is a good friend of mine. And Talby's coached at UTA and OSU and Tulsa. He's been around a long time, Oklahoma coach. So Talby called me about her, and so we've got her coming in. And like I said, Ripley's, really playing well and got a chance maybe be in the state tournament here in Oklahoma. And then the other kid that we signed is Amina Diallo, who's a 5'10", really long, athletic kid from Little Elm, which is down by Frisco. And she tore ACL in the spring and rehabbed it and just got started playing again right after Christmas. And so she's and that program's been really, really good. So we're excited about, the 3 kids that we're bringing in, and of course, what group we have coming back, and then we'll sign a few more kids as well.
I was going to say, I know you can't talk too much about that recruiting process, but you're looking at probably 6, 8, 10 other kids.
Yeah,
at this
you
point?
always do. We started with 14 this year, and like I said, we played games with 8 or 9. You're going to have some attrition. You're going to have kids get hurt. You're going to have kids get sick, and you can look at the rosters. I was telling the girls today, you look at the rosters, and one game somebody has 14 on the bench, and the next game they have 6, 7, 8. Because of those things. So it's just part of D2 basketball and how physical it is and how demanding. You just 14, 15, 16 kids is not too many for sure.
Well, okay. Jeff Mahoney, the head women's basketball coach at Cameron University. It's always great visiting with you.
Absolutely.
And, we'll see you again a little later on in the show.
All righty. Sounds good.
We're going to take a break. You're watching the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We'll be back right after this.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
We're back on the Oklahoma Sports Network with the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show, and visiting with us now is Kevin O'Connor, the head men's basketball coach at Cameron University. And, Coach, the last time we talked to you, you had just gotten that first conference win. You went on the road and you got a couple of more conference wins. And you think, all right, we are on a roll. And then it just kind of slowed down again, didn't it?
Yeah, just some more inconsistency that wish didn't happen, but it's a long season. Still got a quarter of the season left.
Well, we had a lot of those games were really close. We had a overtime loss to St. Mary's, among other things, in there. So it seems like every game, and we talked about Coach Mahoney about this also, that we're within 6-8 points every single game. So they're playing hard.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it doesn't typically matter until there's zeros on the clock, and you want to win. Like I told you all the time, got to win by one. That's all that matters. So, there's still some things to be happy with how we've played, and then a lot of things to be unhappy with. So just got to keep working to improve every day. So,
we've had 2 or 3 of those games where it literally does come down to the last possession.
Yep.
And are you more of a, I want the ball in this person's hand, or we're going to run this play and whatever happens. What's your philosophy about that from a coaching standpoint?
I never commit to one, like we're always going to do it this way or we're always going to do it that way. I will lean more towards calling a player's number more than a play. But it, sometimes you could run the perfect play and you just miss the shot, and then sometimes you could run a bad play and a player just goes and makes the play, and it's just it's tough. That's hoops. That's life too. You just gotta roll with the punches and get up and face adversity and show up the next day. Keep showing up.
Well, during the course of the season, we've had 6 different players who have led a game in scoring. That shows, up and down that roster, you got some good quality, good balance, in that. And you've had 3, it seems like every game you got 3 or 4 players in double digits, as well. So you got to feel good about that, knowing that it's not just one guy you're relying on all the time.
Yeah, that is a nice luxury to have. I feel like we've always tried to recruit teams that are balanced. So, you can't just key in on one guy. And I think that's shown this year. Like, I didn't even know that stat, that we've had 6 different leading scorers, but it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I've had someone said to me, says, well, there's no star. Do you have to have a star, the one guy that everyone looks up to and say, that's the guy?
No, I don't think so. I think close games and things like that, I think you do need a closer. And I think that can be different people. Like you just said, 6 different leading scorers. There'd probably be 6 different guys who I'd like to call their number at the end. End-of-game situations are they're unique. If it's, a 3-4 man who might struggle to deck it, it's tough to drop a play for them because it can be just taken away with, a switch or something like that. But if it's a dynamic point guard or something like that, that's a guy like, everybody get away, go make a play. Like, that's more realistic. But, my high school coach always said, coaching wins the close ones. So.
Well, now, if we win out, we'd be at 500. Would that be good enough to get in the tournament, you think? It'd be close, wouldn't it?
It would be close. I think we need some help. Of the most likely 4 teams who are in that 5 through 8 spot, they do have tough remaining schedules. Everybody has tough remaining schedules. So it's just going to all be about, we got to take care of business, and then if the basketball gods reward us, the basketball gods reward us. But we got to take care of our business first, and that's the only thing we can worry about.
As a fan, and I look at that schedule and I go, well, these games are all winnable. I think we got, St. Mary's, that'd be a tough one on the road. But, I look at the rest of them and say, these are teams that we've already beaten or we could certainly beat, especially at home with 5 home games coming up. You have to feel good about being at home, huh?
We haven't performed well at home, if I'm being honest with you, Steve. Like, I'm disappointed with that statistic. I think we have more conference road wins than we do home wins. So, every game's going to be tough. Just worried about Texas A&M International University on Thursday.
Okay, so you've got 3 guys on this team, Reggie Prudhomme, Lavelle Broadnex, and Jackson Ingram. You've been with those guys, and those guys have been with you for a long time, both at Murray State and here at Cameron. What are your thoughts about that trio? Moving on, are you going to miss these guys next year?
Oh yeah. So Reggie scored his 1,000th point on Thursday, I believe. Thursday or Saturday, happened this week.
Yeah.
Which is a big accomplishment, and he's my first one that I've coached from his freshman year to his senior year straight through. Like last year, Jalen Thomas and Andre Washington, I coached for 4 years, but we had a sabbatical in there, and same with Jackson, same with Lavelle. So, I love those kids. I hope we have a good finish for them, for their futures, and there's actually some legislation in the NCAA that they may be back.
Oh,
so you never know.
do I dare ask what's the talk? The possibilities.
The talk is that there was a football player, I believe for Vanderbilt, who sued the NCAA saying that his year of junior college should not have counted against his year towards the NCAA.
Because it was NCAA.
Yeah, and his argument was that it was because he had a lack of access to NIL. And Division I already passed that through, that if you played junior college at any point during your first 4 years, that you could get another year of eligibility. That hasn't trickled down to D2 yet. Typically it does. But there's a lot of things up in the air, and just trying to focus on Thursday. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and talking about those guys and talking about the balance that we have, you got Reggie's leading the league in assists. Jackson's been at the top in rebounding and block shots all season long. You've got Aaron Jacobs, who's in the top 10 in scoring and rebounding and block shots. Lavelle and Aaron are both in the top 10 in field goal percentage. So again, it's not just one guy. It's kind of different guys doing different things for you. One's assisting, others are making the shots, others are getting the rebounds, and again, it talks about that good balance that this team has, doesn't it?
Yep, definitely.
So let's assume they don't come back next year. We certainly hope that happens. And so where do you go from here? What has the recruiting process been like? Have you, the women have had some early signees. Did you have any early signees?
No. We'll look at. We're evaluating constantly. You always have to be recruiting, so we're looking at kids from all levels: high school, junior college, prep school. When the transfer portal opens up, we'll be heavily involved in those potential recruits as well. So, Division II, especially for the men's basketball side, is recruiting just happens later, usually typically second semester, and then visits after the season ends and figure it out from there.
I know Coach Mahoney was talking about, this coach that he's known forever calls him and with the player, and that coach he knows, calls him with the player. Do you have, a pretty good network of coaches, high school coaches calling you and giving you information about players?
I have an extensive network, Steve. No, I'm just kidding. But we have, I've worked all over. I worked in Arizona, worked in the Midwest, grew up in New England. So, there's a lot of players out there. So just got to turn over the rocks and find them.
Well, okay. And, it's amazingly sometimes, and not just you, but I see other teams, they in the season they got 3 players, and, and when September rolls around, they got 14 on the roster. So
that's why we get paid the big bucks.
And well-deserved, I might add, as well. So, well, okay, Kevin O'Connor, the head men's basketball coach here at Cameron University. We're going to take a break and visit with some of the players right after this on the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed, because your success is our success.
We are back on the Oklahoma Sports Network, the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show, and visiting with us now 3 members of the Cameron women's basketball team. On my far right is Krissa Gomez, a freshman from Geronimo, Oklahoma. Next to her is Emma Nunley, a sophomore from Sterling, Oklahoma. And next to me is Chloe Heidebreck, a junior from Cache. And all 3 of those schools are within spitting distance of Lawton, so you all are from this area. I do have a question, though. When they take your pictures for the the website, do they, you all look like you've been eating vinegar or something? Nobody smiles on their pictures. What's that all about? Okay, I'm gonna start with Krissa, freshman. You come in, you're playing Division II. What's that transition been like for you coming from Geronimo, a small school?
It's pretty intense.
Speed-wise, how would you compare it?
A lot faster. Yeah.
And so at Geronimo, you were all-state basketball player?
Yes.
So did you play in an all-state game? Did they have all-state games that you
Yes.
played in? Tell us a little about that. Where did that take place, and how did you do?
I don't really remember where it took place. I think
Probably up in Tulsa?
in
Was
the
it up
city.
Oklahoma
yeah,
City?
yeah.
Okay.
It was great playing with all those amazing players.
Okay.
It's almost like playing with college level.
Okay. So at Geronimo, that's a small school. I don't know what level that is. But how did your teams do? How as far as competing in your district and that type of thing.
Senior year was probably our best season. Well, my best season throughout the 4 years. We had a pretty amazing record, and we ended up making it to area, but we lost out.
Okay. All right. So now it says on your bio, first of all, it says you were made All-State, so congratulations for that.
Thank
That's
you.
why you're playing in the All-State game. But it says you're a Thunder fan.
Yep.
So they're having a good year. Are you happy about that? Do
Yeah.
you watch the games? You get a chance to watch any of their games? Or?
My brother's a big Thunder fan. He's into all of that stuff. He's always telling me things about them.
So he's keeping you up to date on
Oh,
it
yeah.
as the season goes along.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Krissa Gomez, a freshman from Geronimo. And next is Emma Nunley, a sophomore from Sterling. When you were in high school, you're both academic and athletic all-state as well. Now, Sterling is known for girls basketball. They have for a long, 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 long time, haven't they?
Yes, sir, yeah.
And do you feel like you've just been part of that tradition growing up there?
Yes, sir.
Now, did
for
you grow
sure.
up in Sterling?
Yes, yeah, I was raised in Sterling.
So,
Yeah.
so you're familiar with all that tradition, huh?
Yes, yeah, we actually hadn't made it to area in a really long time. In my senior year, our team made it to area, so that was a pretty big accomplishment for us.
I know we used to cover the Comanche County basketball tournament for a
Yes.
long time, and Sterling girls just kind of ruled that tournament.
Yes,
It
yeah.
seemed like forever and ever. So
Uh-huh.
now you have not played a lot this year.
Right,
You're
yeah.
having some physical problems. Tell us a little bit
Yes.
about that and where you are now.
Yeah, so I actually have grade 2 stress fractures in both of my legs. It kind of just got continually worse. And my athletic trainer didn't know what else to do, so they sent me to the hospital to get some x-rays and MRIs, and that's what it turned out to be. So sadly, I'll be out the rest of the season.
Okay, so what's the prognosis going forward for next year?
Kind of just to stay off of them for a while, but then during the summer just build back, those muscles so that I'll be stronger.
So, you're there at all the games, and I see underneath the basket helping them rebound
Yes.
during their warming up and things. So during practice, do Do you get a chance? Do you just go out there and want to shoot some free throws or something?
It's very
Is it
hard just sitting on the sidelines and watching them play.
driving you nuts, isn't
Yes, it is.
it? Okay. Now, it also on your bio it says, first of all, you were valedictorian in your class.
Yes,
So
sir.
congratulations
Thank
for that.
you.
So what are you majoring in?
I'm majoring in sports and exercise science.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's the de facto major
Right.
for most everybody on the team, isn't it?
Yes.
Krista, what are you majoring in?
Sociology.
Oh, okay. That's a little bit. So your bio says you're a Texas Rangers fan.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
See, that's close, dear to my heart. That's my team, the Texas Rangers. Do you ever get a chance in the summer to go down and see them play?
Yes, we actually did last summer.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
that's great. So, most people pick a basketball team, and you pick the baseball team. Did you play other sports in high school?
Yes, I did. I played basketball and softball and ran track too.
Softball in the fall and track in the
Yes,
spring.
yes.
Oh, okay, so how'd they do in softball?
We did really good. 3 out of my 4 years, we made it to state in both fast pitch and slow pitch. So Sterling's really a big softball school. So, yeah, we were really successful all 4 years.
So, what position did you play in softball?
I played shortstop.
Oh,
Yes.
that's usually the best players, the shortstop.
Yes, sir.
So, no itching to maybe walk on and play a little softball for Cameron.
Yeah, I am missing it a lot, but basketball definitely takes up a lot of your time, especially with your studies and having to, time manage with all the things. So.
Okay. Do you play any softball in the summer with church league or anything, those kind of things?
No, I haven't really. I've just been focusing on basketball.
I understand. Okay. Thank you, Emma. And Chloe Heidebrecht.
Hello.
Hello. From Cash. And it says here, National Honor Society in high school. You've been on the President's Honor Roll. Congratulations for that. So what are you
Thank
majoring in?
English.
English. And what is the hope to do with an English major?
I'm not sure.
Well, okay. So which part of that do you like the best, the writing aspect or the literature aspect?
Literature, for sure.
Okay. So you American literature, world literature, what do you like to read?
I've taken classes for all of it,
Okay.
so I enjoy all of it.
Okay, so you read all of those books you're supposed to read?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't read any of those books you're supposed to read, so about 2 years ago I started reading a lot of them.
Oh, yeah?
They're really quite interesting, a lot of them. Now I can see why we were supposed to read those things in high school. So you've had a couple of starts this year. 5 times you've been in double digits scoring. You had 23 points against Angelo State. That was a big night for you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And do you have that feeling, like, I could do this every night if I just had more playing time, or
For sure, yes.
you do like to shoot the three, don't you?
I do, yes.
And but sometimes I think teams will figure that out. You don't get open a lot, do you?
You'd be surprised. I'm actually open quite a bit.
Okay.
They'll face card me every now and then, but then I find myself to be open a lot.
Do you like to, some players like to catch and shoot, other players like to catch and then get set and shoot. How do you see yourself?
My best shot is my catch and shoot.
Oh, okay.
Like spot up and shoot it.
All right.
I can do either.
Okay. Now, your sister played at Cameron.
Yes, you did.
That's been a while. What is that, 6 or 7? How far apart are you? Like 6 or 7 years with Chelsea?
I think so.
Yeah. So when you were growing up, did you want to play basketball against her? Or did you play basketball against her?
Like 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 with our siblings, yeah.
Yeah. I bet she didn't cut you any slack, did she?
No.
Older siblings never do.
No, they don't. No.
The younger siblings always get picked on. So this is your 3rd year here at Cameron. What are your thoughts? You glad this is where you ended up? Did you have other opportunities coming out of Cash?
Yeah, I did, but I wanted to stay close to home, so this was like the number 1 option.
Okay, and so I guess your parents, they get a chance. I guess all of you, your parents get to come to all the games and see you play. That's kind of nice, isn't it, to look up and have your parents there?
Yeah.
So, well, okay. you're not sure what you're going to do with an English degree, but you've still got another year to figure that out. You know, do you have thoughts about a career or something that you want to do, or is it way too early to worry about that?
It's too early to worry about that.
Well, I understand.
That's for next year. Later on.
I understand. Well, okay. Krista Gomez, Emma Nunley, and Chloe Heidebrecht for our area players from the Lawton area on the Cameron women's basketball team. Thanks for stopping by and visiting with us.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to take a break and be back with more on the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success. We are back at Too Familiar Restaurant in Lawton, Oklahoma with the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show. And visiting with us now, 3 members of the Cameron men's basketball team. Have Cody McStraw. Next to him is Andrew Iyama. And at the end is Jackson Ingram. And Cody, I'm going to start with you.
Yep.
You snuck in. You're a repeat performer here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is you're the first repeat performer we've had. You were
Yep.
here a couple of months ago.
Say so.
Okay, so since that time, you know, has anything changed? Anything different in the way your perspective you know, playing at Cameron?
I think just getting used to the consistency of the culture over here, and just meeting a bunch of new people on and off the court, and just experiencing the vibes when we win, even though we haven't done it as much, but just growing together as a team has been very good.
Yeah, you know, probably when you were here the first time, we were still probably looking for a conference win, and you know, we had 3 in a row there for a while. Did it feel like, hey, we're turning this thing around finally? Didn't it?
Especially the second we won that first one, coming out of winter break, we knew that we could beat any team if we played our top brand of basketball. But finding that consistency, getting those 3 wins, whether we lost 1 or 2 in a row, just everyone's keeping their heads high, knowing that we can compete with every team. So it's good.
So, again, you're from Australia,
Yeah.
as we discussed before. Now, how often do you think will you be able to go home this summer, or are you going to stay here in the States, or have you thought that through?
In the summer, I'm going back home for the 3-month break we get. So I don't think too much about it, but because it's coming up soon, I kind of get the itch to go back home and see all my mates and play back home, which is what I love to do. But for right now, I'm living in the present and happy to be here. So.
Well, okay, great. All right. Andrew Iyama.
Yes, sir.
From London?
Yeah, London, England.
Okay. Well, I didn't think it was, London, Texas or anything like that. So you're from London. How do you end up in Lawton, Oklahoma?
Well, I moved here when I was like 14 to Dallas, Texas, Mansfield specifically. And I went through high school there, and then I went to Fort Smith, and then I went to Temple Junior College, and I ended up at Cameron.
Now, where is Temple Junior College?
In Temple, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So why from London do you moved to Dallas when you were 14? Now, did your whole family move, or did you just come here?
So my dad, he was working in the States while my family was in London, and then we all just moved together and just started life here
Okay.
in Mansfield. Yeah.
So really, you're from Dallas and not from London anymore, huh?
Nah. I still claim London because I spent more time in London than here.
Okay. Is that your goal? And whenever you're done with school here, to go back to England?
Honestly, I haven't thought that far. I got family on both sides.
Sure.
I still visit every summer, so I'm really trying to see where life takes me and just go from there.
You still have that London accent, though, don't you?
It comes out every now and then.
Between London and being in Dallas, everyone's got a Southern accent. You
Yeah.
probably got a real good mix of.
I learned how to code switch around different people, so it helps.
Okay, so you're at Temple in junior college. What led you to end up at Cameron?
I played my season at Temple, and I was just looking for another school, and I felt that Cameron was a good spot. I have familiarity with Jackson too. We went to Fort Smith together.
Oh, okay.
So I just felt that all of those pieces to the puzzle just fit perfectly.
Okay, so you left Arkansas Fort Smith and then went to the junior. So did you start at Arkansas Fort Smith?
I started at Fort Smith. Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
did. I spent my redshirt freshman year and then my freshman year there, and then I chose to go junior college after I coached at went to a different school.
I see. Okay. All right, well, great. So how do you, of course, at Arkansas Fort Smith, you were in the Lone Star Conference, and so now you're back in the Lone Star Conference. Hadn't changed any, has it, other
Not
than
really,
the
no.
location some?
Same long road trip, same teams, same gyms.
So you're used to it, huh?
I'm used to it, yeah.
Okay. And what are you majoring in?
I'm majoring in business administration.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that?
It's been, honestly, it hasn't been that bad. Hopefully, I graduate, try to get a master's from there, and then just look into the world of business.
Okay, so you don't have like I want to work in this particular. I want to be a banker, or I want to do this or that.
I feel like I want to work in like a financial district somewhere. You know?
Oh, you want to make money?
Yeah,
is that right?
obviously.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right, and then at the end we have Jackson Ingram from Durant, Oklahoma, or some people say Durant.
Yeah.
What do they say in Durant? How do they actually say it? 'Cause, I always it's a Durant, but
they call it Durant.
Yeah. So they call you Country. Huh? Do people call you that? Is that your nickname?
Mostly my teammates
okay.
call me that. But
so when you were in high school, you were a big guy. Did you play? You had to have played football in high school.
Oh yeah.
And you were. I'm sure you were a lineman, or were you?
No, sir. I was a quarterback.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Were you a running quarterback? Or
no, I was a drop back passer.
Okay. So what kind of seasons did you all have then when at Durant?
I only went there for my senior year of high school.
Oh, okay.
But we didn't have a very good year in football. But basketball-wise, we almost made it to state. So.
All right. Okay. So you went to Murray State?
Yes, sir.
And met Coach O'Connor.
Yes,
so how did he get you to Murray State? I know it's close to Durant.
Well, ended up I walked on at Southeastern University my freshman year, and then COVID happened, so I got a COVID year, and then ended up he pretty much sent me over to Coach O'Connor to try out for him at Murray State, and he ended up liking me, so I ended up getting a spot on the team.
Okay, and then you went to Arkansas Fort Smith.
Yes, sir.
Coach O'Connor came over here. He wanted you to come right away, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
But you had already made that commitment to Arkansas Fort Smith.
I didn't know Coach O'Connor was going to get the job until like the day before I was about to commit. That's what made it really tough for me.
Okay.
But I ended up going to Fort Smith.
So what was that like? That experience, Arkansas Fort Smith?
It was fun. The campus, it was a nice school. It wasn't a good fit for me.
Okay. And so coming to Cameron and being back with Coach O'Connor was where you needed to be?
Yeah. He's by far been the best coach I've had while I've been in college.
Okay. So you're kind of on the court, you're a big guy. Mm-hmm. You're not the tallest guy on the team, but you're right up there with Aaron. You do a lot of posting up low. You're doing a lot of physical stuff down low, both offensively and defensively, aren't you?
Yeah, I try.
And one of the things I've noticed this year, as opposed to last year, is you don't get into foul trouble. Like you seem like you got in a lot more foul trouble last year.
Yeah.
Is that a learning experience going on there?
It's just like an experience. Like once you get one in the first half, you got to be careful and just like try to like make sure you don't. Because if you get two in the first half, you're gonna get pulled. But it's a lot of experience and just trying to play smart.
I think your jump hook is a lot better this year. Did you have that shot last year? Because I didn't see it near as much as I am this year.
Oh, yeah. No, I feel like I had that shot last year. I feel like it's about the same.
Okay. You've relied on it quite a lot. I know that. So now what are you majoring in?
I already graduated as a business management major.
Okay.
And I'm working on my MBA this next semester.
Okay. So here you're working on that at Cameron. So is the intent to finish the MBA?
That just depends on the future. But I'm just going to work on my MBA this semester.
Okay. Any thoughts, any of you, any thoughts of being a coach sometime in the future, or is that far and away? What do you think, Cody?
Maybe possibly after a long playing career, but I actually tried coaching my high school team when I graduated, but I don't think people understand the stress of coaching, especially when you try and tell people to do something and they don't do it. But maybe after a long playing career, I want to stay involved with the game, so either coaching or recruiting could be something I do after.
So as a player, you can appreciate when the coach wants you to do something, you go and do it instead of.
Yeah, I would want the same thing if I was coaching.
Yeah. Okay. So Andrew, you want to go make money. You don't want to be a coach, huh?
I think the highest level I'll coach is like my kids' AAU team or something.
There you go.
That's
okay.
what I was thinking. More like my kids' AAU team or something.
Yeah.
Maybe high school.
Okay. Well, great. Cody McStraw, Andrew Iyama, and Jackson Ingram.
Yes,
thanks for visiting with us. And
Thank you.
guys, we've got 7 games left to go. Got to get 6 or 7 wins out of that, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more right after this on the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success. We're back at Too Familiar with the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show as we wrap up our final show of the season. And a little segment I call Rules of the Game because I'm not very smart and I don't understand a lot of this stuff. So I have to find out from the experts. And Coach Mahoney, will start with you. This is a real simple rule. It's called 3 seconds in the lane. Now, several years ago, a wise old basketball official, Nick Miller, well, he's old, said to me, basketball is meant to be a game of movement. And so when a player's in the lane, as long as a player's in the lane and moving around, he's not as apt to, call those 3 seconds on him. But the rules, 3 seconds, right?
Yeah, but it also comes down to if you're sitting there watching for somebody in the lane, you're probably missing somebody getting mugged or something going on. So it's not I don't think it's a situation where some people are always watching for that, but you can usually tell just by feel if somebody's been in there a long time.
Yeah.
And also if you're making a move to the basket, that kind of waves that thing off too. So.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
As a coach, though, do you see that and you say to the official, hey, that guy's been in the lane, 4 or 5 seconds every time he comes down? Do you talk to officials about that?
Not unless they're throwing it to him every time and we can't guard them.
Okay. So when does the count stop? When a player shoots the ball, so I'm in the lane, I've been there 3 seconds, and the player shoots the ball. Does the count stop at that point?
Yeah, when the ball's been shot on a shot attempt. Yep.
Okay, so that's
honestly, it's one of those deals where some officials, you'll have some crews will call it once, twice, or and then others never call it. So I don't think it's a point of emphasis at all for even coaches. I mean, we don't. You got enough to worry about besides trying to watch at somebody's feet and see if they cleared the lane, But there's always fans sitting up there, and that's what
nothing better to do.
Yeah, they're sitting 20 rows up, and that's all they watch for. They're in the lane, get them out.
That was me. That was me a few years back when I wasn't calling games.
And they're counting, and usually that's the easiest way to infuriate a referee is holler 3 seconds in the lane because sometimes they've been in there 4 or 5, and they're like, I'm not calling it.
Oh, okay. So they just is that one they say? Well, you don't make that call at this point of the game, or
yeah, it happens sometimes. I think good officials, if it's something that's happening, especially at the high school level, they'll talk them out of it. They say, hey, get out of the lane, get out of the lane.
I see.
They'll talk them out of it sometimes.
Okay.
So.
Do you talk to your players? Do you talk to your Jackson and some of those guys? Say, hey, you guys watch out, you're in the lane too long. Do you even discuss those things with them?
I think we benefit from the kids we get have been coached well through high school or transfers. So usually they have that internal clock in their head where they post up for 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and then they just have to get 1 foot out of the lane to restart the count. So typically guys have been coached you can't just park in there. You know what I mean? So I don't know that I've seen a 3-second call in our season all year, maybe 1 or 2. Yeah. So
well, I know I've seen some, so they must all been in the girls' games.
Yeah, it's just it's not something I really watch, honestly.
Okay, all right. So, Coach O'Connor, this is so easy. I'm ashamed by it. Free throws. Is there a rule that you got 10 seconds to shoot the ball?
Yeah, you can see the ref. They count on their hand like this, and I've never seen that called. I think Giannis. So when we have a free throw shooter who has an awkward form or a hitch or anything to be concerned about, so you don't get a free throw violation blockout, we call it Giannis because Giannis, the Greek freak, has a crazy long free throw routine. So we scout it too, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a 10-second. I have seen them count, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone call for not shooting the free throw in 10 seconds. Now, what about getting into the lane, though? As I'm on the lane, and he shoots when can I get into the lane? As soon as it leaves his hands, or does it have to touch the backboard of the rim first?
Well, it depends if you're the shooter or involved in the free throw blockout. So the shooter has to wait until it hits the rim.
I see.
The people involved in the blockout are on the release. And I believe that's different high school to college. I think in high school you have to wait till it hits the rim no matter what. In college it's on the release.
Yeah. So it's a war in college. I mean, because if you don't go when the person beside you go, you're getting beat, and so it's pretty much when they go, you go.
Yeah, and so
first contact wins, so to speak.
So do players fake that and then shoot? To get the other team in the lane. Occasionally you see you get another free throw because somebody got in the lane too soon.
Yeah, I don't think you're not. I think they call that dissertation. You're not allowed to if you're involved. If this is the free throw blockout right here, and if I go like this to try to get you guys to go, that's a violation.
Well, what if the shooter faked?
I think that would be a violation.
Same thing. It's got to be a shooter's motion. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, like Kevin said, sometimes it's and then that kids will jump in, but you just got to know that. But they can't purposely, do something.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, all right. So. See, I told you those were going to be easy today.
A couple layups to finish up, huh, Steve?
Yeah. So, wow, this has been a blast.
It is. We've really enjoyed it. The first one that we put together, and it's been really good, really well attended. And we appreciate Eric and Oklahoma Sports Network for working with us and doing such a good job of hosting this thing and making it easy for us literally to show up and talk. So we've really enjoyed it.
And also the great people at Two Familia. Thank you for hosting us. They did a great job, served our guys plenty of meals in here, and it's one of the best restaurants in line, so come out.
Well, okay. Yeah, you don't have to wait for a coach's show to come out.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Well, okay. Well, that's going to wrap it up here then from Two Familia Restaurant for the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show for the 24-25 season. I want to thank our athletic director, Lou Izzy, our coaches, Jeff Mahoney, head women's basketball coach here at Cameron University, Kevin O'Connor, the head men's coach at Cameron. I want to thank our sponsors once again, Juiceland, Bammonberry's Remax, Gomez Electrical, and Scott's House of Flowers. I want to thank Eric Sherem, the chief cook and bottle washer of the Oklahoma Sports Network. And I'm Steve Adams. This has been the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Thanks for watching.